What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Spanko, and today I'm doing another discussion video. Specifically, today it's about Dimension Shifter. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been doing a lot of discussion videos recently, and that's probably just because there's so much going on in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh right now that there's a lot of stuff to discuss, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. But don't worry, because I'll be doing deck profiles for you guys again soon. I have a lot to do. I have so many built for you guys. There's just been a lot of stuff happening in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh. So if you guys like these discussion videos though, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And then also make sure to check out our Discord. We have these conversations that usually all these discussions that I'll have online with you, I'll put them on the Discord and be like, hey, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this? Just so I can get a little bit of an idea from you guys and the community. And that's what I'm basically trying to do, is make a community within our channel, not just me being a random Yu-Gi tuber and just telling you guys what is good and what's not good. I want a little community so everyone is involved, right? So check out the Discord for that. The link should be in the description below. And yeah, so today we are talking about Dimension Shifter. So this card is probably the most underrated and underappreciated promo out of the other Megaton promos. The other two being Dark Ruler No More and Nibiru the Primal Being, I think is the full name. The reason this card is underrated in my opinion is because it doesn't have as big of an impact as Dark Ruler No More or Nibiru, right? And the reason for that is because this card, the drawbacks on this card are pretty high in the sense that you have to control no cards in your graveyard. But would you guys believe me if I told you guys that this is probably the best promo card out of the three, at least specifically for a certain deck? Now, over the weekend, I played at the Toronto Regional. I went 9 rounds. I was so close to topping. I just missed the top cut. But that event showed me how unimpactful Nibiru can actually be. I saw people lose to their own Nibiru. At the top tables where people were playing Nibiru, Dark Ruler No More, and not playing as much Rogue, and it's mostly just meta decks, I watched a Salad player, Nibiru, his opponent, and then not be able to get over his opponent's Nibiru. And then from there, I think he was playing against Thunder Dragon. Actually, I'm pretty sure he was playing against Thunder Dragon, because the Thunder Dragon player just used Thunder Dragon Fusion, recurred his whole board, it still had that big token on his side of the field, and proceeded to just beat his opponent. The thing is with Nibiru is if you give your opponent that token and it's such a big body, but you can't out that token, it actually becomes an issue, right? Now, Dark Ruler No More, in my opinion, is probably the best one. Dark Ruler No More is very hard to counter. Orcus can counter it with Crescendo, and Pendulum can with Zephyr Divine Strike, but Thunder Dragon really can't. Dragon Link as well, actually, I should say, loses to Dark Ruler No More. But this card, the reason that I'm talking about this card specifically today is because in my last round, and after my last round, I looked around and watched what people were playing. This card makes pure Thunder Dragon insane. When I say insane, like, you guys remember pure Thunder Dragon? You guys remember it? You guys probably don't, because Pure Thunder Dragon played for just a little bit of time. They hit Gold Sarcophagus, and what happened? It all became Danger Thunder Dragon, Danger Guard Dragon, Crusadia Thunder Dragon, all those variants, right? People stopped playing Pure Thunder Dragon. But this card makes Pure Thunder Dragon insane. So, essentially, if you guys don't know, this card reads, if you control no cards in your graveyard, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Until the end of the next turn, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Most of you guys probably knew it was a walking macrocosmo, right? In a deck like Thunder Dragon, if you want to play 3 of this and you want to go first, and let me tell you why. Because you'll open 5 cards, and let's say your 5th card or one of your cards in your opening hand is Dimension Shifter. What you can do is, just off the bat, Dimension Shifter, and then full combo. And the reason I'm saying that is because Dimension Shifter makes all of your normal summons, it makes Batteryman Solar a Gold Sarcophagus. Batteryman Solar, when it sends to the graveyard, it's just gonna get banished instead. So now all of your cards, all of your normal summons in that deck become Gold Sarcophagus. How broken does that sound? On top of that, like, this happened to me, and this happened across, like, when I was watching, is people with Dimension Shifter on their first turn make their full combo, and then after they make their full combo, let's say you're playing against Orcus, which in my case I was playing Orcus, my stuff gets banished as well. So not only does this make all your cards Gold Sarks and all your cards get effects off, and like this helps you plus as a Thunder Dragon player, but also it disrupts your opponent because Orcus, Striker, Salaman Great, all their cards get banished. Now that's insane. So this card has now acted as both a Gold Sarcophagus and a hand trap for you. The only time this card isn't good, I guess, in that sense is in the mirror match, because obviously you make all your opponent's card Gold Sarks. But point is, like, this card outside of the mirror match and Pure Thunder Dragon is insanely good. Maybe I'm overhyping it, but when I ran the numbers in my head and I looked through it and I tested with it, And this card is insanely good. If you can just open this card, Battery Man Solar, or all your Thunder Dragon cards, all you do is pitch this card and then full combo, and then your opponent has now been disrupted and you've been able to full combo. In my opinion, like, I don't know, that in itself is just insanely good. Now, why am I saying it's probably the best out of the three? It's really not if you think about the usage of the card, right? Now, Dimension Shifter, not every deck can play, and most decks actually lose to Dimension Shifter. But in terms of pure Thunder Dragon specifically, this card is insanely good. Now, another thing with this card that I should mention is that it helps you dodge hand traps. Now, Ash doesn't need to be sent to the graveyard, but cards like Ghost Ogre need to be sent to the graveyard, Effect Veiler need to be sent to the graveyard. So this card actually helps you play around some hand traps. Imperm obviously gets played onto the field, so Imperm doesn't stop, Ash doesn't stop. But if you think about it, if Ash, Imperm, Veiler, and Ogre are the 4 most played hand traps, and you're stopping half of those, right? So 50% of hand traps that are being played right now are being stopped by Dimension Shifter. So not only is this card making all your cards gold sarcophaguses and getting obviously your Thunder Dragon effects and just a lot of pluses through that, and not only is it making your opponent get all their cards banished, essentially if your opponent is playing Orcus, they can't play, playing Salad, they can't play, Striker can kind of play around, they can just set 4 pass, but at that point, like, you're so ahead, you'll just win anyways. True Draco, against True Draco, all their cards will be banished. This card essentially does all that, plus helps you dodge hand traps. Like, that's literally insane. Let's say you're playing against a BA player. What is BA going to do against this, right? This card is literally insane in Thunder Dragon. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you guys that Dimension Shifter is going to change the game, but it's definitely brought another deck back into the format, and I think is one of the most heavily slept on decks in the format. I think it could actually be potentially one of the best decks in the format. With 3 Dimension Shifter, 3 Battery Man Solar, 3 Aloof Lupine, like, Thunder Dragon is very, very consistent now. And Thunder Dragon Fusion, that card is insanely good. Like, people undervalue, in my opinion, Thunder Dragon Fusion so much, because that card will recycle your whole entire engine and then you can just restart. The reason it's so good is because, let's say we want to talk about Nibiru, right? Okay, so let's say you go Dimension Shifter and you make your full combo and then your opponent Nibirus you. So you lose your Colossus, you lose your Titan, whatever you lose, right? Okay, so because your opponent is still under Dimension Shifter, if you're playing against most meta decks, they're not going to be able to OTK you. Orcus won't be able to full combo you, right? So now you have your token. Let's say they even get rid of the token. Forget it. Forget the token. Let's say they get rid of the token. Your opponent is probably not going to beat you that turn under Dimension Shifter. So what happens is you're probably going to end up searching for Thunder Dragon Fusion throughout your combo because you know you're going to need a follow-up, right? So you're going to search for your Thunder Dragon Fusion. When your turn comes back around again, you just recycle all your pieces. That is insane. Like, that is insane in my opinion, right? This card is really, really, really good. The other thing about this card is that in Thunder Dragon, you can actually hard make Dingirsu. I know it sounds mean, but you can actually hard make Dingirsu with your Colossuses, and then you can send one card your opponent controls. If you do that under Dingirsu, it'll get banished instead. So Dingirsu now becomes a banish. Like, this card is so freaking good. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this card. It makes Thunder Dragon, in my opinion, one of the better decks in the format. And like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you when I say it's probably one of the best decks in the format right now, just because this card was introduced into the game. Obviously, Nibiru and Dark Ruler No More are really good cards, but I think Dimension Shifter is an insane card in its own. Let me know what you guys think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. And with that, guys, Spanko signing off.
My hands steady, I feel ready, but my legs heavy, I don't get it. How come I haven't hit it already? Still working, I'm still learning, I'm still searching, finally earning something, finally turning something called a profit. If I hear you talking shit, don't get caught in it. I'll be popping off and hit your ass, dropping all your shit. Yeah, I promise this, I got promises, you ain't stopping this, cross my shit.